Hi, I'm Greta.
And I'm Claudia, and welcome to Knitters and Critters, where we talk about all things Critical Role and, of course, our own knitting projects.
That's right. On today's episode, we'll be discussing Critical Role episodes 23 and 24, titled To the Skies and the Hellcatch Valley.
Wow.
Yeah. So a lot seemed to happen in episode 23, To the Skies, starting off with Chetney going off the rails.
Every retail worker's worst nightmare.
Yeah, it's like working Black Friday, but like it just never ends. The
endless,
assholes following you home.
The endless line of Karens. Oh my gosh.
Chetney, like...
Yeah.
So what happened is that like a couple episodes ago, Chetney met Tuyen, who owns the Prism Emporium, to buy, I think, chisels or something, some woodworking materials. And he didn't roll well enough on his persuasion check, so he had to pay more than he wanted to. And he like made like an off-the-cuff, "I'll be seeing you later" kind of comment, which I honestly never thought anything of. Well...
He did.
I was wrong. Chetney went psycho. He like snuck into the shop.
He went feral, literally.
Yeah, he really did. And like turned into a werewolf and scared the person and like slashed at them. And like I don't think he realized that this, like, I don't, like Travis as a character, I don't think, or not character, as a player, I don't think realized how few hit points that like the average person must have, because it looked like Tuyen like seriously might have bled out.
Yeah.
So interesting. I don't think, does Matt still do like alignments anymore? I know he did in campaign 1, but it didn't really seem like something that came up in campaign 2.
Gosh, where was it? I read something about like not really.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, where would this put?
Yeah, I feel like this
Chetney?
would really.
Yeah.
I mean, he was always kind of a chaotic character, but I think he would be going chaotic evil now rather than chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like overkill. I mean, it was really fascinating to watch, and like for entertainment value, it was very compelling, but from like a character standpoint, I was like...
Yeah. I got a little bit triggered. I mean, I had a phone thrown at me once, and I'm talking about
Holy crap,
because I'm older than dirt. So back when I used to work for what's a company called Mervyn's in Mountain View, California, and I used to work in the office, in the credit office. So we already were kind of predestined to get angry customers because people got sent to us when their transaction didn't go through. Or their check got declined, or something like that. So we were already getting not very happy people.
Yeah.
And back in those days, you know, it was the phones that you hang up and put down
with a separate receiver and cradle and stuff.
Yeah, you can look them up. I mean, if you Google.
Come on, kids.
So those things were heavy. I'm not talking about a little thing. I mean, it would still hurt, but. Yeah, and she was just not happy that, her credit wasn't good enough, whatever, and she just, like, threw the phone at me. And I ducked, and it was fine, and... Yeah, it was a little bit triggering.
But it was a little bit like that. Way to go,
yeah,
Chetney.
Yeah, thank you. It was like, that's another therapy session that I need to pay for.
Well, this is skipping ahead a little bit, but because it's connected, I thought we should talk. In episode 24, Chetney tries to use the Horn of Silent Alarm that he bought from our dear favorite NPC in the world, Marwa.
Yay!
And it does not seem to have worked.
Oh! Marwa's so screwed.
Yeah. Chetney, if you go after Marwa, I will come through the screen and we'll get you. Leave her alone.
Yeah, we like Marwa. Oh, yeah, that's not going to be good. That warranty had expired or something.
Oh. It was funny, like when Chetney came back to the room, you could tell Liam really wanted to like notice that he was gone. But there like wasn't like a real reason for him to have noticed. It's like, oh, Liam, I really wanted you to have noticed too, because Chetney needs an intervention.
He does. He needs anger management.
Yeah, he needs some classes.
Some CBD to like, you know, just chill the fuck out, man.
Yeah. It does make me wonder where Chetney's character is going from here. Like I understood why he was with the Bellshells to like save Gurge and figure out what was going on there, but is he just here now to head up with like meet the Gorgini because the Bellshells are like going to be in that area, you think?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the why are we still all together conversation hasn't happened yet in this campaign like it did in campaign 2, and I think it's something that they're going to have to happen sooner rather than later, especially after Armand Treshy gets caught.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Should be interesting. Well, in episode 23, To the Skies, they go to the skies. They get on that sky ship, that beautifully designed miniature. Matt gave credit to the person who made it, but oh my God, it was like chef's kiss.
Seriously.
Beautiful. They get into a fight, of course. They go fight those crazy stingray things. Imogen goes like full Jean Grey and like levitates and flies off the boat to save Orem.
Yeah.
That was such like, it gave me like chills hearing her describe that. And of course, some stuff goes down between the girls. As we all know, Imogen's character has kind of been not going off the rails, but she's definitely become more brittle than she used to be. She seems to be having, like you said about Chetney, some anger issues. And we've theorized that it's because of that gnarl rock that she found in the shade. The shade.
That she's become very attached.
She's
to.
super
She
attached
sleeps
to it.
with
Yeah. And Laudna asks to see it. Like, let me just see it. Just make sure it's not like exuding any influence on you.
I promise.
I promise. Meanwhile, Matt's doing you hear like the second heartbeat thing. And I honestly didn't think it was anything other than like Laudna, like his way of like pushing like Marisha into like actually insisting to see the rock.
Yeah.
Well, the moment Laudna touches the rock, Delilah Briarwood takes over her body and absorbs the power of the rock.
That's what it feels like, because it totally drains it and then it shatters it. Yeah.
And of course, Imogen made Laudna promise not to break it or throw it overboard. So when she sees this happening, Laura just delivering that blistering, "You lied!" Oh, that killed me. We texted after we saw that, like, no, the girls.
Gosh. Yeah. That is, I mean, Delilah, like, so we were talking about this earlier, like, something that I don't like in movies, in books, in series, whatever, is when stuff gets retconned, where you knew somebody was dead.
Yeah.
You just knew that. You knew that. It was clear somebody was dead. And then they're not. And, that happened, like, I mean, I understand we all wanted Chewie to come back in Star Wars. But he died.
Let his sacrifice have been worth it.
Yeah, let it mean something. So I am wondering how they are going to work this out, because it looks like that's where it's headed.
Right.
Delilah's going to come back,
some
taking
kind of
over.
kind of character, taking over right for Vecna or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard because I really enjoy seeing Delilah. I think she's a great villain.
She was a great character.
But at the other point, like on the other hand, you're right. Like it would be interesting if it was someone else. And like there's no like dearth of villainous characters in Dungeons and Dragons canon, even in the canon of Exandria, that could be drawn upon,
or the the campaign 3 baddie,
or even like somehow tying back to Exandria Unlimited, the original Exandria Unlimited, as a way to bring those 3 Exandria Unlimited characters closer to the rest of the Bell's house, because that goes part. Yeah, you're right. It could have been like a Spider Queen kind of situation, but that I think is part of what we were also talking about before we started, of thinking like they need to have that conversation about why they're together and what's tying them together as a group, and they just haven't had that yet.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel organic.
Yeah,
that they're together still.
Yeah.
And
not that there's not time for that to happen. It always takes a while for a D&D campaign to figure it out, but yeah, I'm hoping that conversation happens soon. Hopefully, like once they catch Armand, they'll realize like, all right, we've got some decisions to make. Like obviously, Imogen wants to do her thing, but like, why are the rest of us tagging along? So, I don't know. We'll see. But regardless, in the rest of episode 24 is pretty much where we kicked off. I was hoping that we would have the confrontation between Imogen and Laudna, but they went full Midwest and they completely ignored that there was any problem.
It's fine.
And they shoved it down. It's fine. I would say they put it in their hair to give volume, but we all know Imogen lost all of her hair.
That did not happen.
Oh, poor Laura. Her character, like, first the dress at the ball not being what she wanted, and now her hair falling out.
Those luscious lavender locks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Devastating.
Yeah.
But speaking of her hair falling out, it happened because while they were wandering through the streets of Bosphorus, they came across a young, like, petite-looking elf who was being mugged. So they step in to intervene and save the day. And they do. They save this person. It's Dusk. They're played by Erika Ishii, who's going to be guest starring for a while. But Laura uses the shard of the Fey Rock that, like, turned her blue for a couple episodes. So, like, why didn't she learn? Well, it made her hair fall out.
She forwarded.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Someone find her some tonic.
Like Ford Escape or Ford Focus or something. Oh my gosh.
Man.
Yeah, that was a moment.
Yeah.
That was a moment. Yeah.
Excited to see what they do with Erika Ishii's character. We'll see.
Yeah.
It seems like an odd place to add a side character when, like we were saying, their connections already seem a little tenuous.
Yeah.
So hopefully there will be some good add-in from that.
It'll
be entertaining. But.
Yeah, I did like that the creature they fought beforehand was a sympathetic, creature. It was a mom who was looking for her kids.
Yeah.
And it was.
I like that they didn't kill it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They just kind of put it back very gently.
Airmail.
Yeah. And because that'll happen sometimes. Sometimes, you face creatures that you're like, kill it, everything, blast everything. And it turns out that if you just, pick out the proverbial, splinter in its paw, that lion is not going to go after you.
Yeah.
It's just in pain. It's just...
Yeah.
It wants something other than to kill everything.
Plus, Bosphorus is such like an outlaw sort of town. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow they found the creature's children that they were looking for. Maybe they'll find it there and make a friend.
Reunite mommy and her kids.
Make up for some of Chetney's pretty much evilness earlier in this.
Seriously.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, they're on their way to a taste of Taldore. Is that the Rainforest Cafe of Bosphorus?
Oh my gosh! No. Yeah, we've had really bad.
Who doesn't love a kitschy restaurant? Oh,
right?
No,
what is it called? Medieval times?
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be
It's gonna be medieval.
Like
times.
every drink is in a tankard, and all of that. Oh my goodness. That should be.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else about Ashton introducing himself.
Yeah.
I am part of the house.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Really? Do tell, please.
And then when he said that, Liam made a joke, and it was so spot on. Like, ask Ashton a backstory question, wait 24 to 48 hours for an answer.
Yes.
True. That's not Ashton. That's just Taliesin.
Yeah, that's Taliesin. Our Eldritch King. Yeah.
Time means nothing when you're immortal.
Right? I mean, it means nothing to him.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's pretty much all that happened in those last
What do you guys think?
episodes.
I mean, there was some crazy stuff going on from like full retail rage to, saving mama creatures.
Yeah. And are they ever actually going to find Armand Tresci, or are they going to go on a side quest with Dusk?
I feel like she definitely has that like yellow question mark
right
above her head.
That little emoji.
Yeah. Quest here.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, should we switch tracks and talk about what's on our knitting needles?
Let's talk about what's on our knitting needles. Is anything on your knitting needles?
Oh, just a never-ending project. I've said this like 4 times, but I am really close. I have like 3 rows left,
Yay!
probably.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So it's coming to a close. I'm kind of hunting down new things to work on. We've made some Critical Role tie-ins, like you made those Laudna gloves and that beautiful shawl, like based off of Fern. So I was thinking maybe I'll do something like an Imogen kerchief.
Oh, there you go.
Or a hat for Imogen. Might be too soon. And maybe I'll just do the kerchief.
Make her a wig.
A wig, yeah.
And and lavender.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing something other than
after
capelet.
the beautiful capelet.
Yeah.
That's going to be gorgeous.
How about you? I see some.
those are old.
These are old. Okay, well,
They're
then I'll
just
stop
there.
showing it up. Yeah. What are you working on?
So this weekend, there is a knit-along we're taping this on a Saturday. And my beloved Cream City Yarn shop is doing a weekend challenge where you're trying to do the Stria hat by Andrea Mowry in one weekend. Now, this is I don't know that you can see it necessarily, but this is half fisherman's rib, which means that on half the stitches, you're knitting in the row below, meaning this thing does not grow quickly. Also, these are 3mm needles, which means they're freaking tiny. So basically, you're knitting twice as much on tiny needles. That's basically what it is. And it's a striped hat. The good thing is it's super stretchy. And there are, I believe, 8 stripes. So I am using the leftovers from my color palette socks, which is like a gradient. It goes from the dark brown to almost like a pinky beige. And this base yarn is this beautiful, it's very rustic yarn.
Oh, that is.
It's really nice.
It's really nice.
Yeah, and it's by Cast and Dye, which is also a local company. And it's called Lakehouse, because there's so many lakes around here. So this is my current project, and I will be working on it this whole weekend. We don't have game or anything this weekend, so I think I'm going to be able to, if not necessarily finish it by tomorrow,
At least make some good progress.
And I think it'd be like nice little neutral hat.
Yeah, they'll pretty much go with anything.
Yeah, like you're knitting on it and knitting on it and knitting on it. And I'm like, it should be this big right
it's like
now.
those dreams where you're running, but the door never comes closer.
I know. It's just, because it's half fisherman's rib. So it kind of, you're basically doing twice the work. But I think it's going to be really cute.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think that might be all of us us at Knitters and Critters. As always, please like and subscribe to our channel and leave some comments below on what I should work on next and what you think is going to happen next on Critical Role. And what the fuck is up with Chetney? All right, guys. Thank you for watching.
Bye.